name is Hope Yoder. I'm with Embellish, a division of R&K Distributing. And on the table in front of me, I have some brand new products from Embellish. They're gonna rock your world. Are you a crafter or a digital cutter? I am. I even have my own t-shirt business. And one of the things that was very frustrating to me was trying to figure out how to center a graphic design on a t-shirt that I'm gonna sell to someone else, or one that I'm gonna wear like this to an event. So great news, stay tuned. I wanna show you the new products from Embellish that you can only get at your local Embellish dealer. And then I want to show you how to use our two new vinyl tools. So first thing I have on the table is we have R&K Embroidery Perfection Tape. We're gonna use that in a moment. We have so brand new our Embellish vinyl weeding tool. Now, when you go in to see this at your dealer, you're gonna love how nice and heavy this is. I designed it after my favorite shaving store. When I walk in there, the man would put a shaver, like you shave your legs or your arms with, in my hand, and he'd say, "Do you feel the difference?" It was so nice and weighted and heavy. So this new ergonomic vinyl weeding tool works for foil or for heat transfer vinyl or graphic vinyl that you put on the back of a car. It's super sharp. I'm going to show you how to use that in a minute. Comes with a cap and this beautiful carrying case. And then we have 10 colors of Embellish foil done in one step. Now we've got some more videos coming up on the foil, on our one-step process versus what I used to use, which was 2 steps. But we've got 10 brilliant colors and brand new. Oh my goodness, y'all are going to love this. This is our new Embellish vinyl t-shirt ruler. It's a centering ruler. Have you ever used one for embroidery? Well, I haven't. I've loved it. But now this is going to be perfect for getting your graphic t-shirt perfectly centered. Now, it's not just for t-shirts. You can use it on tote bags and all kinds of other things. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut our foil shiny side down. And let me move this out of the way. And so we kind of have some foil already cut here. And in a moment, I'm going to come back and show you how to use the vinyl weeding tool. Okay, I'm going to show you a good tip that I learned somewhere along the way about weeding foil or vinyl. Now this is our beautiful gold, and we've got our silver heat transfer foil. It's got a beautiful metallic luster. And do you notice that we've already weeded the center? So here's a helpful hint from Hope. When you're going to weed anything that has a portion like a letter O, and you're gonna weed and remove the center, do that first. We weed all of the tiny little objects so that the last thing that I weed is going to be, I love this weeding tool. So you're just going to get that started, and then you can use your fingers to keep going and weed away the excess. So weeding is removing the part off of the clear carrier sheet that you don't want to show up on your t-shirt. And using this new weeding tool is such a breeze because I can just get right underneath there and get it started, and then it's just a matter of pulling it with my hands. Now here's another good tip. So number one, you want to weed the centers out first. Why, you may be wondering? Well, in the past, if I've not done that, I may have tiny little specks. Imagine if these letters were small and the little center of an O got stuck to the carrier sheet and I didn't see it, and I went and I pressed my shirt. Well, that little hitchhiker, I'll call it, never ends up under my armpit, right? It ends up somewhere I don't want people to see. So by weeding the small centers and discarding them before you weed the whole background away, you're going to be less likely to have unwanted foil showing up where you don't want it. Now another little tip is, you can see how easy and how great this weeding tool is, but what if you can't quite see the vinyl? Maybe you're in a dark room. Here's another little tip. You can actually take the foil that's cut and roll it. And I'm rolling this And then I can see where the cut line is and then grab it with the weeding tool. So in just a moment, I'll finish weeding this and then we'll set up for the next part. I'm going to show you in the next segment how to use this glorious ruler that is going to get your graphic design centered on your tote bag or your t-shirt or your jacket every single time. Stay tuned. Let me show you how to use this amazing new ruler. Now this is where the R&K Embroidery Perfection tape comes in. You're going to want 2 pieces of tape, and so I'm going to put these right here. And we've already done our graphic, weeded it and cut it. And this is going to be a 2-step process. Now I can put the digger, hashtag goal digger, get it, instead of gold digger. I can put that anywhere I want, so it doesn't have to be centered. But the hashtag goal needs to be centered on the t-shirt. So to do that, we've already used our weeding tool. I'm going to put that over here. So the first step into using the ruler is you want to take your t-shirt and you need to pre-press it. And what that means is whether you're using a heat press or an iron, you want to remove any moisture and warm up the shirt. It just accepts the foil better. So in this case, I've got a little heat press here and I'm going to smooth it out so there's no wrinkles, and I'm just pressing in the area that I'm going to be applying the foil. All right, and I'm going to do a pre-press, which is probably about 5 seconds. And again, that's going to remove any humidity, moisture, and it's going to warm up the shirt. So I've got that done, and get out of my little mode here. Perfect. So I have the heat press set to a medium to low temperature. It's about 285 to 300, somewhere in there. And I've got the shirt warm. And so here's how the t-shirt centering ruler works. Number 1, the ruler has a center line, and this is made for a V-neck or a round neck t-shirt. And so you get to decide how far down do you want the graphic to start. And we have all of these horizontal lines. So it starts at 0 and it goes out to 10. So you need to find the center of your graphic. And again, the silver I'm going to place wherever I want, so I'm not going to even worry about that graphic right now. It's just this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this weeded foil, and one side is sticky and one side is not. So I'm going to take and put the non-sticky side together, and I'm going to find the center by folding it on itself. And then I'm actually going to just crease this, or I could make little notches down in the carrier sheet. So non-sticky side together, and now you can see I have a crease. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to roughly lay this circle on the bottom of the circle neckline. And it doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom, just make sure that you keep it consistent. When I'm doing my pre-check and when I actually use it to center, I want to make sure if I'm using the bottom, I stay on the bottom of that collar. So for this, I'm thinking for this t-shirt that I probably want it to be about 2 inches down from the neck. And that's all subjective. It's whatever you want. So because I want it 2 inches, I'm going to take the ruler, and here's my 2-inch line. And now I'm going to take that center fold, all right, and line it up. The fold on the graphic, I'm going to line up on this heavy line. And then the top of the graphic, I'm going to line up on the 2-inch line because that's what I decided I wanted it to be. And here's where the tape comes in. The sticky side is facing out, and that is on purpose because when I lay the ruler down, I want the sticky side to be touching the shirt, and we'll show you how this works. So you can see I've got the center line matched on my graphic to my ruler, and roughly around the 2-inch mark. All right, I've got that there. Now, sometimes in the past, here's what I did before I had the ruler. I would take the underarms and I would fold the shirt in half like this and press it or mark it to get the center line, because you guys know that t-shirts aren't necessarily made with the center line in the right place. For instance, the tag is not really the center. You may think it is, or the V may be sewn crooked. So really the center is going to be the equal distance between the armhole area. So here's where the beauty of this ruler comes in. I've got my graphic taped, and now I'm simply going to line this up, and it might be a little hard to see on the camera, but I want to look from the center to the arm area. I have 8 inches, 8 on the ruler touches the underarm curve. So I want to make sure on this side that my shirt is lined up and it's going like this, and let's check this out. All right, now I'm actually about 7.5 inches, and now I'm about 8.5 inches there. So that means I'm going to just slide the ruler over. Now I have 8 and 8, and it looks perfect. So making sure the V or the round neck is centered there. All right, it is. And again, I'm going to check. I'm about 8 and about 8. That looks perfect, y'all. So when you get it, you're just going to move the ruler around with a graphic tape to it until you get equal distance showing out here. Once you do, then I'm going to lift the ruler up slightly so that I can slip my hand between the graphic and the ruler. And when I do that, then I'm going to lift this up. I've got this centered where I want it. I can discard the tape because the carrier sheet is sticky. It's going to stick to the shirt. Now I'm just going to hold this up and give it a visual, and we'll show you, and that looks pretty good. So with this here, I'm going to iron it. Now if you're ironing it with a household iron, read the inside of the label of the foil and make sure you have the right amount of seconds and the right temperature, or on a heat press. Now ironing or pressing the graphic with a regular iron, you're never gonna slide the iron over the shirt. That's a no-no. You would set it down and hold it for the right amount of seconds, lift it up and move it to the next section. So you're gonna do that, and that's the beauty of having a heat press. You get it pressed in one fell swoop and with constant pressure. So with an iron, it's about a medium pressure you're physically pushing. With a heat press, you're gonna do it. All right, so I'm gonna press this foil for probably about 5 to 7 seconds because I'm using 2 colors. Now, if this was the only design and it was one color foil, I would press it for the full application of about 12 seconds. So let's come over to the shirt, the heat press. And again, if this is, I can do this with a household iron, and I'm going to press this, and we're going to press it for about 5 to 7 seconds. And I'm going to bring this back over, and you know what? I can see that that actually has not even stuck, so I'll do this a little longer. So the goal is I want it to stick to the shirt, but I don't want to press it all the way. And the reason for that is because when I add the second color of foil, then I'm going to give it a full application with a cover sheet. All right, now this, I'm going to leave that there for a minute. Now a cover sheet can be the carrier sheet, or it could be a non-stick surface like this, or it could be a craft paper non-stick surface. Now our foil is a complete cold peel, and what that means is I am not going to remove the carrier sheet until this is cool. Now I did this one off camera to show you how the shirt works, or the foil works. So I am going to, this is completely cool, and I'm going to remove this. And now this is a carrier sheet, so I could save this and use it again. And I think I'll go ahead and do that since it's much bigger than my little design. All right, this is a complete peel. Look at that brilliant shine on there. That is gonna wash and wear just like I would normally wash and wear anything. All right, beautiful design, love it. Now let's check this out. So let's see, I've got a little bit of sticking going on, not a lot. So if that happens to you, you're just gonna simply press it again until it sticks to the shirt. So we pressed this for about 5 seconds with the heat press, and this time it's stuck. And so I've let it cool off camera, and I'm removing that carrier sheet. And it's not the full application because my next step, and now with this, I don't need to use the ruler. I'm just simply going to place this wherever I want. And I might even overlap it a little bit. Now, do you notice where there's exposed foil? You need to make sure that you never touch the iron or the heat press with the exposed foil. So I'm gonna do this another 5 seconds. And I just want the silver to stick, but I don't want this impression. Do you see this? Now I could take scissors and trim this, but because I have a little bit of the carrier sheet, it might make an impression here in the gold. So I only want to do a quick 5 second, let it cool, remove it, and then I'm going to press it again. But I can't touch the heat of the iron here, so I can use a non-stick pressing sheet, or I could use this extra sheet and cover it up. So I'll do that off camera, and when we're done, I'll show you the final look. Okay, I've got my final shirt, and so what I did is I pressed the silver for another 5 seconds, and I covered the top with the carrier sheet. Then I've removed both carrier sheets. I placed this clear one down again, and now I've pressed it for a full 12 seconds. I've let it cool, and here's the big reveal. Check this out, you guys. This is amazing. So here is how I can perfectly use all of the Embellish digital cutting tools together. The weeding tool, the foil, and the centering t-shirt ruler. Ask for these products at your authorized Embellish dealer.